Hello and welcome to Fierce Friday. My name is Stephanie Dawn and I'm the chair of the Million Mom Movement Council. I sit on a council with four amazing women, and it's really my honor and my joy to be leading the Million Mom Movement and leading Fierce Friday. Well, I'm not actually leading today. We have another special council member who's leading, who I'll introduce in a moment. But I want to just give you a little bit of backstory about how Fierce Friday came into being, because it's really important about what we're doing here. So I, for the past 30 years, have been an activist. And one of the things that I realized when I became chair of the Million Mom Movement is that we needed to elevate the conversation around glyphosate on our food. I was unknowingly poisoning my son, Zephyr, by giving him Cheerios for the first 7 years of his life. And while I tried the other organic O's on the market, he was like, "Mom, I like Cheerios." So I kept feeding him Cheerios until I stopped. And I stopped because what I found out was that Cheerios have the highest parts per billion of glyphosate found on them, due to a report that was done in 2016 by Food Democracy Now! And by the detoxproject.org. And if you don't know that report, if one of my trusty colleagues would put that in the chat, you want to read that report. You want to understand the outrage that we feel as the MMM Council about what's going on with our food. Corporations are profiting in the billions annually by selling us toxic food. And this is not okay with us. This is not okay in any way, shape, or form. And so we raise our voices here collectively as a community, and we share our hearts around health and around wealth as Purium brand partners. So this is our health focus this week. And I'm excited to be bringing on Carmela Velarde shortly. But before I do, I'd like to bring on her daughter, Katana Velarde. Am I pronouncing it right, Carmela?
It's Katana Velarde.
Katana. She's going to be sharing the Million Mom Movement Pledge. So welcome, Katana. I'm so happy to have you here with us on Fierce Friday.
Thank you. All right, go ahead. So we're pulled up to the Million Mom Movement website, and you can go to Movement and click Join, and scroll down. You'll find this beautiful pledge that we've created as the council. Go ahead, Katana.
I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself from all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
And what is the movement of many? I've already talked about this. Everybody on the call is a Million Mom Movement of many. So who does it include?
Moms, dads, and
all caregivers. Uncles, aunties, grandparents, everybody who's a caregiver is absolutely welcome. Who cares about the future of our generation with clean living? So thank you, Katana. I pass the mic on.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Katana, for your voice. It really matters. And we're really blessed that you came to do that for us today. Thank you. I'd love to call on my other colleague, currently in Montreal, Quebec, Taz Ferreira. If you'd be so kind to share about the petition and how that all got started, Taz.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Okay, so like what Stephanie was talking about, that her son had glyphosate toxicity caused by Cheerios. Okay, this is an outrage. For all of us moms, I know when I started off, I had Cheerios in my purse. It was the first finger food I went to. It was the emergency food I went to. My son was hungry, here's some Cheerios. And you know what? I felt good about doing that. I thought, I'm a good parent. I'm not giving him gross Fruit Loops or, Lucky Charms. I'm giving heart healthy Cheerios. But little did we know that Cheerios has the highest parts per billion of glyphosate. And you know what I keep hearing over and over? That moms are telling me, yes, but how do we know there's glyphosate? It doesn't say it on the box. You can't find it in the ingredients, right? That's when we thought we need to create a petition. We need to create a petition to tell General Mills we will no longer stand for this. They need to be transparent with their ingredients, and they need to start labeling their cereals what has glyphosate. You know what? So at least we can avoid it. At least we have the choice. So we have this petition. I will put it below. Please share this with everyone. This is how we are going to grow the mission forward. Share it with everyone and share it with your friends and family and sign it. And once we have this accomplished, we will go on to the next movement that lies close to our hearts. Thank you so much. Back to you, Stephanie.
Beautiful. Thank you, Taz. Yeah, your voices matter, your actions matter. You can create posts with your social media, whatever you're willing to do, just raising your voices in whatever capacity that you're being called to. We appreciate it. Okay, on to Jody, Miss Jody Parker in Colorado. Jody, would you be so kind as to share about the Million Mom Movement scholarships? You're just muted, love. Oh, goodness gracious. Hey, Danielle, can you make Jody a host and unmute her? Oh my gosh.
Okay, there we go.
Yay.
Technology conquered. Good day, everyone. I was going to say good morning, and then I realized here in Colorado it is noon. And here at the Million Mom Movement, we partner with Purium, which is a superfood nutrition company. Purium is two words combined together, pure and premium. And one of the more premium things that we do is give back to the community. And we do that in many, many ways by giving foods to food banks and supporting different things that are close to our hearts. And here at the Million Mom Movement, Purium has worked with us to create a scholarship for families in need who would like to start their own business. So they can partner with us and with the Purium Superfoods and be able to start their own superfood grocery store right online and give away $50 gift cards to invite their friends and family to get really deep cellular nutrition. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can get an idea of who qualifies for this scholarship. So this is our millionmommovement.info page. Under outreach, you will see scholarship. And that is where you will find all the information. So if you are a brand partner and you have a family in need that is interested in the scholarship, this is where you find it. Now, they get the business pack. So many people ask us, can people who are already brand partners win the scholarship? No, they cannot, because it's a business scholarship and they already own the business. They also get $1,250 worth of superfoods over a 90-day period, so they can create their own story around the Purium superfoods. The person who wins must be a caregiver of some kind. This is a family scholarship, not an individual one. And you can see it applies to people in the US and Canada. Sorry, my family's bringing in the Costco order right now as we speak, if you hear that in the background. So far, sorry for that, guys. They're yelling, sorry. So you can see the who, the how, the why. You can see where you apply. You will be interviewed. You do have to have a diamond sponsor and just a brand partner sponsor. And you come in here and you apply, and we announce it by the third week of the month, of the following month that you apply. And if you did not get picked that particular month, you can keep applying. So there is no limit to how many times you can apply. Back to you, Stephanie.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. We love our scholarships and we're so grateful for them, to be able to offer them. Now, I think I'm going to Kauai, but I'm not sure. Naiva, where are you at? Are you in California or Kauai? Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay, we need Naiva to be made a host as well, Danielle. The whole council needs to be made hosts. Thank you so much. Can you unmute Naiva? There we go.
Okay, I'm able to. Hi, everybody. I am still in Southern California. I will be back on Kauai next week. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on. And yeah, I'm excited to share about our social media. We have some amazing ways for you to stay connected with all of us. So if you're not already following us or liking our page on Facebook, I would love to invite you to come like our Million Mom Movement Facebook page, and also join our Million Mom Movement official group on Facebook as well. Within that group, I've created some really fun memes that I invite you to share in your stories and have fun with them. There are memes talking about glyphosate, the issue with glyphosate in our Cheerios, and a lot of what we've been talking about this morning. So please use those memes in your stories to educate your family, the people that follow you, and create conversations around it. The next place I'd like to go is Instagram. I love to feature you on our Instagram page. So if you aren't already following us on Instagram, I'd love to invite you to follow us there and use our hashtags here on this post. You can also find this post on our Instagram page, and there's a great little write-up in there that talks all about where you can find us, how you can stay connected, the hashtags that we use. So please find this post on there. Instagram is also a really great place that you can use the link in our bio to find everything we've talked about today. You can find the link to our Million Mom Movement website. You can find the link to our YouTube channel if you ever miss a Fierce Friday or want to go back and watch one from the past that we've done, or share the one that we do today with somebody that doesn't get to be here. You can also find the link to our petitions, the links to the scholarships, and everything that we've shared here today. So please use that link in the bio on Instagram to find all the tools that you need to stay connected with us. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well if you're over there. And our YouTube channel is the last place where you'll find all of our recordings. So I'd love to invite you to follow us on all those platforms so you can stay connected. And I'm going to pass it back to you, Stephanie.
Right on, Naiva. Thank you for all that you do with social media. I call her our social media maven. She represents us so well. All right, let's get into the meat of today's Fierce Friday. So we've been doing over the last several months from SAD to RAD presentations, okay? From the standard American diet to the radically real American diet. And I'm excited to welcome on my fellow council member, mom of two, amazing human, like just this being of light and love. She's very successful with Purium Blue Diamond, right, Carmela? Yeah, Blue Diamond with Purium, and really a stand for all that we care about here in the Million Mom Movement. It's such an honor to work with you, Carmela, to learn from you. And thank you so much for bringing your wealth of information and understanding about what's going on in your experience with your SAD to RAD evolution.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. It's such an honor to be here with this community and to be on the council, serving everyone information every week. And thank you for being here, everyone. So this is my family. These are my two children, Katana, as you heard earlier in the pledge. She's just turned 11. And this is Neo Velarde. He's just turned 8 in April. So we are definitely a busy household, nonstop cooking, nonstop educating about nutrition, healthy living, and really becoming being a Purium message to the world. So the reason why I was really inspired to talk about the topics that I have today is because it's my everyday. Just like Taz Ferreira, she did part 1 and part 2. So please do check out the YouTube of hers that goes through wonderful information. I mean, the charts on that are phenomenal. And then Jodie Parker, she also shared her healthy snacks and how she incorporates the superfoods into a healthy lifestyle of her own with her children. So today, the first one, I'm gonna share screen, because I helped create some visuals for us. Just a moment. And somebody's gonna have to just confirm that they're able to see what I pull up. Do you see that, Council?
No, we see the pledge.
Pledge. Okay, let's see. Now, just a moment. Sorry, technical difficulties. Screen share, honey. Oh, Thank you. She is totally my social media expert, I tell you. She figures it out on the fly. I love this generation. So this is our Sad to Red part 4. Yes, we are in part 4 and we are moving along with the how-tos and really just sharing what we do in our home. And we are talking today about creating conversations around nutrition with your children. I think this is a really important thing to discuss because many parents don't, or they feel maybe not in the alpha position, which you need to be as a parent, really around discipline. And discipline with nutrition is going to set them up for the best habits moving forward. And then the second part, we're talking about healthy versus unhealthy fats. And then we're talking also about artificial food dyes. Okay, so creating conversations. I wanted to bring my kids in discussing this because we have such a good time really involving them. So the question is, do you involve your children daily with shopping and with choosing their foods? So when we do go shopping and go through the grocery aisles, we are very clear that they need to get their snacks approved by mom. And before they do that, we look at the ingredients, we read labels. And what are the things that we always have to do and look for?
We have to look for the organic symbol, the non-GMO symbol,
At least, yes.
and the labels.
And what else do I always ask you, Neo, to look at? What content is so important? Ingredients such as, what's the number one?
Sugar.
Yes, sugar.
And artificial colors.
Artificial colors. So these are things we do not, it's non-negotiable. So we don't choose anything in our home besides Whole Foods that have anything on their packaging that don't have those specific things, because a little bit of history from my backstories, I have had leaky gut since I was a child, toxic damage, and I've had a very compromised immune system. My children do not, but I do not want them to have, that's not the legacy I want to pass down, right? I'm passing down a legacy of teaching them how to prevent. And okay, guys, so one thing that is really important that's a part of our organic superfood community is to talk about something called epigenetics. Epigenetics is a science that teaches us that our genes do not predispose us to all the things our family previously had. So for instance, if your parent has diabetes, does that mean the child will? Does that mean the child will have cancer? Does that mean the child will have? No, not necessarily, because 80% of health is lifestyle based. So this is why epigenetics is such an important part. And we have a line called Epigenius because we really adopt the beautiful term. And so we can prevent disease every day by what? Our choices, right? So when we choose food, so when we're about to have a meal, what do we do, guys? What do we talk about?
We have to make sure that there's protein.
Yeah.
And vegetables and fruits. And vegetables.
Those three, and I did not mention carbs, guys. I mentioned protein, fruits, and vegetables. I did not say anything specific about carbs, and it's because it's not priority. It's not on the top of the list. It's not pasta and veggies. It's not rice and a protein. It's primarily nutrients, and it's whole food nutrients. And so when I ask them, what do they want to eat? I go on the Alexa, I don't know if you guys have the Alexa, and I ask them, okay, guys, do you know what you want? If not, come down, be a part of this meal, because I'm not going to make you something that you will not want to eat. This is crucial for moms, and yes, we have 4 different mouths to feed, so sometimes it's 4 different meals. Sorry, my dog is a little excited that we're having a party without them. But okay, so next, at meals, we talk about the nutritional benefits of food, right? We definitely do that. So I did not prompt them, guys. We had no preparation. I'm literally going off the notes. And it's really funny to me because I think culturally, this is something I've learned. I'm from the Philippines originally, and I'm the firstborn American. And the sad American diet is a real issue for me. This is something that is rooted deeply in my health history and my health issues. And I do not want anyone in this community to really not understand the deficiencies we have in our nutritional system and our food. And this is why we come here to tell you as much information as we can. So during meals is a great time to turn off all devices, turn off TVs, maybe have light music. Because the last thing over here is food yoga. This is what I'm kind of going into. Goodness, my dogs. I'm gonna have to take care of my dogs one second. They're a little out of hand. Kids, no.
Let me ask you two, how do you feel about being included in all of the family's meals? Do you guys enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're super shy, which is so fun. Like, this is such a great opportunity, guys, to have a dog. But they're so involved. And this is the thing, food yoga. Okay, back to the program. Food yoga, so I used to own a yoga studio for 7 years, and there was this wonderful Tantra specialist who came and she taught me food yoga. She blindfolded us, and there were kids too. And she really had us experience food. And what did that do? It made our senses open up. So when we distract ourselves constantly during the time of a really important event, which is eating daily, then we do not get the optimal nutrition. We're all energetic. Our food is energetic. We're bioenergetic. And when we eat, it's our fuel. And if we're not paying attention to the vibration we put into it, so this is where I talk about praying, right?
Yes.
Praying and Reiki. So whenever I do Reiki over my food, every time I literally a cookie, a cracker, anything, a piece of fruit, Jody says yes too. Who else out in the community also does Reiki on their food before eating? Drop it in the comments and drop the word Reiki, because it is a beautiful practice, is to put energy into whatever we do in life. And so my kids actually, when I did my Reiki 3 training, they said, I want to be attuned because I want to pray over my food like mom does. And it's true. It works and the energy changes. So we also do this versus that, right? So we're going to do a little bit of that right here with some of the ingredients that we're bringing on for the section, the next section, which is all about healthy fats and artificial food colorings. So we always do this versus that. Why? Because the majority of the foods that are out there sold on the market is the that. And we're talking about this community, what we stand for here. We're talking about alkalinity, so the opposite of acidity, foods that are acidic. We're talking about organic, chemical-free, and we're talking about nutrient-dense. These are the 3 things as a health coach that I personally focus on, and then how we teach our children every day to choose this versus those things is really a part of their habits. So once they have that in their mind this early, we're off to a great start. Okay, so next we're going to talk about, this is Katana's section. So Katana and I are talking about healthy fats and why. So she's 11 years old. The reason why we're talking about healthy fats is because she's just coming into puberty. And this is she's so good. Well, for the moms out there who are really in this moment, the need for hormone balance is why healthy fats is a really important part of our diet. It's important to understand that healthy fats encourage proper hormone balance from the inception of growing these bodies. So she's growing her body, and she spurted like 2 inches this summer, I swear. She's almost as tall as me, except for her platform heels. And then the need for cell development and health and development. Now, healthy fats are so integral to bring in fat-soluble vitamins too. What are fat-soluble vitamins? A, C, D, and K. And then the water-soluble vitamins are C and, oh goodness, I wrote it down, B and C. So fats are really important. Why? Because A, D, E, and K are crucial for our bodies to balance and also have support for the bones, the muscles, the ligaments, and there's so much that, and the fats transport these vitamins. So the other side of that is that they're unhealthy fats, right, Katana? Mm-hmm. So we go through this list together. And the reason why we go through this list is because as children, they tend to always go towards the unhealthy because it's easy, because it's delicious. They make it very delicious, and rich because it's fat, and addictive. So what does it do though? Can you read that? Because this is important for you to really know this part.
Okay. Increases LDL cholesterol.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's also how the body's able to flow the fluids in the blood circulating. And then what's another?
Significant factor in obesity.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one.
Causes plague in the arteries.
Plaque. Yes.
Plaque.
So that's again heart health. And so the differences of the two are, it's like so necessary versus incredibly detrimental, right? So think about that and then think about your choices. So we're talking about fats as macronutrients because they are in the category of protein, carbs, and fat. And the micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. Now, we're in the school of thought that we do talk about micronutrients primarily in this community because we're a superfood company. However, healthy fats gets the soluble vitamins into the body. So we need to also have conversations with our children who are consuming these superfoods about healthy fats. So the next screen, so okay, these are what we in our homes always try to lean on. And then the others are the acidic food groups, like fatty meats, butter, margarine, which is actually plastic, it's not even real food. Processed and fried foods, saturated and trans fat foods, and cheese. Now, this topic is definitely Katana's because she is a cheese lover. I remember Taz telling me how much she loved her cheese when she was younger too. And I think in general, it brings energy, right? It brings energy because healthy fats transport these vitamins, these minerals, and it gives you energy. But if you chose from the other list, which is olive oils, olives, coconut oil, which we love. We're Filipino. Most coconut oil is from the Philippines. So, and by the way, American Heart Association 2017 said that it was actually not good to have too much coconut oil, which I think, and I beg to differ, because in my country, we slather it on our bodies and our food. It's everywhere. And we have one of the longest lifespans in the entire world, over 100 years old. So then avocado oil, which is what we primarily cook with is avocado oil. And it's always going to be organic. God bless you.
Cotton.
Sesame oil, flaxseed oil, nut butters, nuts and seeds, avocados, wild-caught fish, eggs with yolk, not just the whites, spirulina, chlorella, and barley grass juice. Now, the three and the bottom are our purium superfoods, and we definitely can supplement that with healthy fats. Now, Katana, you love, she always asks me for eggs with yolk. She likes just the yolk.
No, I like the white.
You like the whites, but you primarily eat around it. And then I end up eating the whites, guys. That's why I know. I end up eating what she doesn't eat.
I eat scrambled now.
And then, yes, and Neo has been craving fats more, and this summer he shot up. And then avocados. I mean, you can make avocados into everything. I have a great recipe that we're gonna make from our guests that are visiting. We have another Million Mom kid who's here. His name is Bodie. He's visiting for a play date. And his mom and I are peas in a pod with this kind of lifestyle. So definitely, you can make so much with avocados and as a healthy fat. I mean, you can make desserts. So we're gonna make a dessert tonight out of epidemias. And spirulina. So we have the barley grass juice and the cocoa mint. These are healthy fats, guys. We don't think about it like that all the time. But cracked cell chlorella as well. Really important as well. And our spirulina, I tell you, is the best tasting spirulina on the market. It hands down. I have been on the market for a long time. I could not find a spirulina I could get down regular daily and ran to it, much less make dishes for my children. Okay, next topic, we're talking about artificial food dyes. So this is definitely Neo's topic because he's attracted. Aren't kids attracted to things that are colored blue? Blue, right? And it's kind of gross, actually, colored blue drinks, the artificial blue drinks. They make blue snow cones, and that's the first thing they always choose. Why is that? What about it? Does it look really good? What is it?
I choose blue.
And I never say yes. He knows 100%. that I will not ever get in snow cones that are like artificially colored. So let's talk about the detriment first, because artificial food dyes are in everything. Synthetic dye use went up since 1955 by 500%. Why is that? Let's talk about it. So let's talk about first the issues. It's linked to hyperactivity and ADHD. Behavioral changes, irritability, and depression. Now, I worked with the autism community for 3 years locally, and I definitely saw behavioral issues of why food matters in their homes. And I got to shop with them. I got to change out food. It was awesome. I really enjoyed being on the field and really being a part of that process. Behavioral changes, immediate. I mean, as soon as you took out foods that had no colors, their irritability, their depression, their cognitive presence was totally shifted. Hives, asthma, and allergies, guys. How many people suffer from that? Seasonal allergies, asthma, hives. And during the time of the pandemic, you just these small shifts. Then tumor growths from this wonderful chemical called benzene, and that's present in red dye 40 primarily. It's literally almost everywhere you can look. Negatively affects liver function and other vital organs. It interferes with the digestive enzymes that our bodies produce and doesn't help us break down the food. Now, doesn't that sound a lot like glyphosate? So this isn't also just tandem conversation. If we take out these colored food dyes, we're definitely also allowed to absorb more because of this simple shift. And so it increases intestinal permeability. So again, these chemicals do the same damage of gut impermeability with leaky gut as other things like the herbicide glyphosate. So it's linked to respiratory disorders and negatively impacts nerve cell development. So for children, this is not what you want to get in there. They need to be present, they need to be responsive, they need to be alert, they need to be in their bodies and build a life. So if you're not allowing them that by giving them fuel that impedes that, you know, let's just think of that. So how can my family stay dye-free? How? Number one, read labels, right? This is what I was like, guys, we're gonna read labels, we're gonna do this together. This is a process. It might take a little bit of time. However, the benefits are huge, huge, because now we understand, okay, natural food coloring. Let's look at this, guys. Like, let's look at,
I was gonna have an Izzy.
Yummer. I mean, there's some candies that we do allow in this house, and I tell you, when it's in the house, they have to ask me permission.
Tic Tac.
We have to choose it together, and it doesn't have any artificial food dyes. And it's also made with blueberry juice, beets, beta carotene, turmeric, only that. And it has to say organic, non-GMO, and no artificial dyes. So Watkins makes a colored food dye. That's what we do in Easter. So we use it also as sprinkles when we make Katana's birthday cake for 11th birthday. Yum Earth makes a lot of like similar foods, this versus that. Look, again, it's vegan, it's organic, it's allergy friendly, there's no synthetic anything, and no colors, right? And the one that they like is they used to love Skittles. Oh my God, Skittles. And we found Giggles. It's this versus that. We were like, I know. When we found this, we're like, oh my gosh, we can actually have candy. Because I will not give them, I mean, it's his processed sugar, guys. I'm not saying it's perfect. But I am saying that when they do have it, say for instance, Halloween or a birthday, I give it to them. And if they ask me, now this is another thing. We have to be mama bears. We have to say, if you take them, I need to know when you consume these things. There's timing, there's amounts, timing amounts. And there's another brand I found, this no synthetic colors, no added high fructose corn syrup, 100% organic. It's the Viking group. So yeah, this is another really, if we have candy at all, it's here in this one drawer that they have to ask about. And then always go for homemade. You know, I know my other council members, they make desserts, and I love that too. However, we're talking about this versus that, and I definitely go for homemade, anything sweet, because you know it's in it. You also can focus on the ingredients that you allow. Then you want to focus on whole foods, primarily, right? Instead of snacks, we always eat mainly meals so that snacking is minimized. So if you make sure that they finish their food, it's for a reason. It's so that they won't snack later. So there's a time and place. There's times, and this is teaching kids time management and organizational skills and discipline. Huge. And you want to emphasize healthy choices. Now, why is this even happening in the first place? So let's talk about that, guys. Don't you want to know why you can't have anything that you see out there? Don't you want to know why I'll say no? Right? Okay, it's because they have the artificial food dyes that they add have zero nutritional value. So they make food look more appealing and attractive to consumers. So they're literally trying to, bait you in. And then it masks the absence of brightly colored natural ingredients, such as fruit. So it masks things, and they're much cheaper and have a longer shelf life. So, but they're lower quality, and literally it does all those detrimental things that we discussed. It now does that too. So I think we're on the last slide. And how to know if the dyes affect my children. So this is a good question. Some people are like, well, I've kind of gone years and I haven't made the switch yet. And I would like to know, like, maybe is the behavior that my children are expressing connected to this specifically? How can I find out? Well, I would say definitely screen for food dye intolerance at home. Start with home and do this immediately. Try cutting out foods that are the elimination of food dyes for a week or 2 and see the difference. So elimination for 2 weeks at minimal. And then hopefully you'll notice an improvement. But you might not realize how dyes affect your kids until you begin to reintroduce foods and see their reactions to them. So take it away for 2 weeks and then start to incorporate it again and see if they have a reaction from it. Because you want to, again, do a little cleanse. And from cleanse, what happens? You become more sensitive and more aware, self-aware of your body. So that is a little bit about artificial food colorings and healthy fats, and really what we do in our own home to make sure that every day we do have healthy habits, and we do start out our day with this, right? I have a little plate that I always serve my children. And as soon as my kids could swallow, and I encourage them to be able to swallow pills, because once you do, the ability for them to take in spirulina, chlorella, biomedic, the aminos. I mean, just really say it's just like eating, put it into a banana, put it into an apple, or crush it up enough so that you can have them see. It's just like food, you're swallowing food. Because once you do, the density of these capsules daily every morning to set themselves up, along with a shake, it really is an incredible way for them to immediately start the day off right. So this is our morning. We always start with just what I mentioned, aminos, the zinc aid. And before, I don't know if you guys remember, but Biomedic, if you open up the capsule, it used to taste like pizza. Do you remember that? I don't know if you guys are that far back in 2017. Todd says yes. My kids made so many videos like, oh my God, I love this. This is when my son, he was 3 years old, he was starting to take capsules now. And it was really because he liked the flavor. So listen to your children. They really go on flavor, whatever makes them excited to consume these superfoods, we are doing a good job. So make it fun, make it an exciting journey for you to learn more about how they're going to set themselves up for success. And I tell them, without health, there's nothing. You have no wealth. You won't be able to do anything if you're sick. So that's what I got today, guys. And I hope you had a nice trip through my kitchen with my kids. You'll see them more in the Million Mom Zooms. They're here in summer, but I pass the mic back over to you, Steph.
Right on, Carmela. And thank you so much, kids. Oh my gosh, I love this. So yeah, remind me of your son's name again, Carmela.
So I named my son Neo, like the Matrix, and my daughter Katana, like Mortal Kombat. So they're my little action heroes.
Fabulous. Wow. So I did have a clarifying question for you, because this was one of your slides that made me go, huh? So the one where you were talking about fats, and you put the 3 Purium products under the fats. I was like, so are you saying that spirulina, barley grass juice, and chlorella are fats?
They have healthy fats, correct. Actually, spirulina has a good amount of content of healthy fats.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew that spirulina has protein in it, but I did not know that it has fat.
Absolutely. So omega-3, 6, 9, specifically 3, it's very dense with it. I mean, spirulina is the perfect food. It really is. Because, and even the power shake, we say that because it does have spirulina in it. Wheatgrass does not have as much healthy fats. It does not. Chlorella does, barley grass does, and spirulina, those 3.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, because that was news to me. Yeah, I appreciate that. All right.
I found that out when my daughter was really looking into alternatives of getting away from cheese. So we were looking, where can we find healthy fats that's acceptable from our community, from our product line.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Wow. Thank you so much. I learned something today. All right. Any other clarifying questions or curiosities based on Carmela's presentation? I'd love to either hear from the council or the field. We'd love to hear your voices, and maybe we can, I'm going to go back into gallery view.
So
here.
I would like to say something. Like, Carmela, you were talking about how your kids love the colors, right? Like the Skittles and all these colors, you know, like color is so important. I feel whenever our body craves something, it's because we need that mineral. And I heard you talking about blue and the blue slushy and all those disgusting things, right? So for my kids, I like using the blue property in spirulina, right? Because, you know, spirulina it's a blue-green algae. So they can extract the blue out of spirulina. And I use that as food coloring as well. In E3 Live, blue, I mean, like, so the kids get their blue fix, but I mean, it's through an algae. How brilliant is that, right? I love nature has the Skittles itself.
Beautiful. Thank you, Taz. Anyone else? You can either raise a hand or just come off mute.
Hey, Stephanie, it's Jody.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, guys. So Jaleesa, I'm putting you on the spot because in the chat, you brought up that your son had trouble, won't eat things that you give him because you started him on the that instead of the this, and now you're having trouble with that. So I thought I'd address that because I know that you are not the only one, and I have seen that a lot with kids. And so I just wanted to bring up, I think for us as the moms, the hard part is we want to make sure our kids eat, and so we don't hold the boundary. And boundaries are really, really, really important when it comes to teaching kids about their food. And say, no, I'm not going to buy that. Like, it's not in the house. You can't have it. Like, it's a hard no, period. And one of the ways that I've done that in my household, and we've always eaten organic, but as I've learned more, there have been those moments when I'm like, oh, can't eat that anymore, when I learned something new. And my kids learned that I meant it and I wasn't going to buy it anymore. But I would look at them and I would say, I found out that this food is literally poison for you. It's poison. And it is not love. It is not loving you for me to give you something that is poison. Like, as your mom, I can't do that. That would be mean. And why would I do that? And so here with the whole this versus that thing, you can often go to a health food store and find a lot of the things that kids will like that you can help transition them with that aren't going to have the corn syrup. A random thought, corn syrup has mercury in it. So you really don't want that. And doesn't, you know, so you can start to transition them that way with the this versus that. But I took a hardcore, this is poison. I will not feed you poison because I love you. And that is a really strong way for mom to hold her boundary because, ew, now I don't want to do that anymore. But it really makes sense for the kids in their head, and you can help them research it and learn why it's poison, or you can come to us and we can help you research it. But I just wanted to give you that little tip because it's something that I have found has worked for a lot of people. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it really does help. I struggle with having the right language sometimes, believe it or not. And so helping moms with language is really important. Take that harder line, right? Sometimes I'm definitely a pushover. And then I look back and I'm like, why did you allow that? You know, so, but it's so clear, Jody, when you say, this is poison, I love you, and I'm not going to allow you to eat poison, you know, like that's very helpful. Thank you. All right. Katie Rose Randall, you raised your hand. Can we unmute Katie, please?
Hi, ladies. Carmela, thank you so much for all this information. I have a 3-year-old son, and he's currently obsessed with Epigenius smoothie. So he's now demanding it like at every meal, which is amazing. But it's really taken the pressure off me to feel like I have to like force him to explore all these different vegetables and things. Just knowing he's getting so many nutrients. He does like some vegetables, but he's still like pretty limited. And I know this is probably expanding his palate as he's getting like more alkaline, but I'm just wondering what you all would say about like how many vegetables our kids should be eating at various ages versus like really focusing on the superfoods that Purim has and kind of trusting in that. So.
Who wants to take this one? This is a great question, Katie.
I could take it. I mean, like, let's not focus about how much food they're eating. Let's focus on the nutrient density that they're eating.
Okay.
Right? So if he's having Epigenius, this is micronutrients, and he's like, this is feeding his cells. So that's good. You know, so as everyone said, mom win. So you're like, good, I'm doing great. And just like, rule of thumb, like on our palm of our hands, right? So whatever your palm of your hand is, this should be the amount of like protein that you would have. Everything else, veggies. As much fruits and vegetables as you can eat. Color, they want color. Grocery store, all the colors. Choose what you want. You know, make it exciting, make it fun, make food fun and take out, that helps take out all the guesswork. And if they want to eat, let them eat. But look at the micronutrients and the density of the food than, you know, the quantity. I hope that helps.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
I just had to say, because as you're growing your child, you know, they're 3 now, there's a this versus that. It's a really great wake-up call for you and your child, because if you go to the one that's this, like Whole Foods, Kimberton Whole Foods, those types of food, those places there, everything is good. But the other market, I don't know, the Wises, the ShopRites, the ones, the Redners, the ones that you probably know, they don't have a lot of organic.
Yep.
Well, you can see the differences in the two drastically. You could say, well, this store, you can literally get almost everything in it. You don't have to read the label. They source properly versus this other one. And then you have to take them through a journey is where I'm at with my 8 and 11-year-old. But when they were 3, it is Mama Bear Fierce moment. It's discipline. I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Distract. and educate. Distract and educate. And give lots of love.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yeah.
you, ladies. Yeah, boundaries, huge.
Any other input from the council or anyone else like to speak to this in the field? Rakira, yeah, go for it. Oh, we just need to unmute you. Hang on, ask to unmute. Danielle, can you, yeah, there we go.
Hi, everyone. I love these every single week, and especially this one. My daughter's 2.5 years old. She literally eats anything and everything, fruits and veggies. I have actually grew up, my mom didn't know what broccoli was until I was 7 months old. I grew up eating horrible foods. And so for me, when I found out I was having a child, I just automatically knew that I needed to change. I stopped eating meat when she was able to eat foods. I was feeding her Cheerios, but then I ended up stopping. And then her first food was strawberries. Until this day, she eats avocados, grapes, watermelon, bananas, pineapple. I mean, spinach raw, beets raw, onions raw, garlic raw, you know, and that's because I have changed. The only person in my family has changed because I knew this is what she needed, especially for her hormones. I was a very sad and depressed person. I don't want that for my child. My menstrual cycle was horrible and I'm still working on it. I don't want that for my child. So that's where I am the mama bear in the family, where I'm like, even grandmas, do not give her that. Even daddy, do not give her that. You know, and sometimes we butt heads, but it's like, as Carrie Drinkwine says, I birthed her. So I'm going to be responsible for what goes in her body. So once you birthed her, you can do that. But until then, that is what I'm doing because this is what I know what's right for my child. She loves the super amino. She loves the power shake like tremendously. She asked about the Pothecary. It is like, you know, it has changed her world so much. And so it has changed my world. And so I just say, give them fruits and veggies, but you have to eat it with them too. It forces me to eat it because I want her to eat it. If she doesn't see me eat it, she's not going to eat it.
Yeah. I love that, Rakira. Thank you for bringing your voice. And thank you for rocking those beautiful earrings. Can we all just like check out Rakira's earrings? They're so awesome.
I just had another thought I want to toss out there.
Please.
Kids love to dip. They love to dip carrots and celery and broccoli and cauliflower. And if it's fruit, so I wanted to toss out there for like onion dip is a favorite of most kids, or like a ranch dip. Go get some cashew, like forager, unsweetened yogurt. It tastes like sour cream. Slice up little tiny onions, use some fresh garlic, use some sea salt, maybe a little dill, throw it in there, make an actual onion dip instead of that nasty packet that has the MSG in it. And give them their veggies and let them dip. If it's a fruit, take the MVP kids or the Epigenius kids, either one, and mix it, you know, if you want to pick a milk or if you just want to mix it with water and make it into a paste consistency instead of a drink, and let them dip their fruit in that, because kids love to dip and they get excited about it. And that's a way that you can get more fruits and veggies in them.
I love it, Jody. I'm inspired to go make that onion dip. I love forager. Oh, delicious. There's some in my fridge right now. Oh, this is such a rich conversation. Would anyone else like to bring their voice into this conversation? We have a few more minutes before we have to close out here.
Hi, Steph. Hi, beautiful council members, each and every one of you and everyone here on this call. I'm so thankful to be here. And I have a question around potato chips and any tips that you have, obviously, to help alkalinize, but for a 6-year-old boy that does not like vegetables. I don't even like to have to sneak them in, but it's just, we're not there. And so I would love any tips that you have. We allow them sometimes and then balance them, but any tips from mamas, I'm ready to hear it at this point.
What a great question. Well, I'll start and then we'll allow Taz to chime in because I see she's off mute. So the first thing that I want to say is, and I just talked about this on a live the other day, the importance of organic potatoes. So here's what we need to know about potatoes, ladies and gentlemen. Potatoes will take on whatever is in the soil. All right. So if you're farming with pesticides and chemicals, the potatoes take those in and you're literally eating them when you eat conventional potatoes. Okay. Always organic potatoes, always organic potato chips. Okay. That's number one. My number two idea that came to me as I was listening to Celeste and Jasper, I hope you're listening to Auntie Steffi. Yeah. Cause I'm talking to you. So here's my recommendation. This would be so fun for both of your kids, is to make your own potato chips, to learn knife skills in the kitchen, to learn how to cut, and to, buying the organic potatoes, explaining to Jasper about why we're buying organic potatoes, and then actually cutting the potatoes. Because I think it's really important for children to learn knife skills. I know this is a scary one. It was certainly scary for me when my boys were little, but we went to a Waldorf school, and the Waldorf school was all about the kitchen. And my kids learned knife skills when they were really young, age 5 and 6, right? So, and then using those healthy fats that Carmela was mentioning, the avocado oil, the coconut oil, to actually oil up the potatoes before you put them in the oven, somewhat, maybe just a little bit. I know Taz isn't going to like what I have to say here. Because she's like the no oil kitchen, but a little bit, and then you slather it all over them in the bowl, and then you bake them yourself. So I know that's not quite as convenient as what as most moms want, but that's what just came to me as I heard your question, Celeste.
Okay, so I want to give my take on this. So I love using almond flour. Okay, so Siete has an almond flour chip that's excellent. So I would look at that one, and then there's a cassava chip. So these are great alternatives to look at. You know, busy moms on the go, just give it to your kids. You know, they're getting all their vitamins. It's fine. Here's something else I would have you pay attention to. When they're snacking on chips, what are they looking for? Are they looking for that crunch? So just look at the chip, right? It's this, okay? So maybe they just want something crunchy in their mouth constantly and dipping, right? Like what Jody was saying. So look at those dehydrated, I think they have carrots, they have broccoli, they have cauliflower. You know what happens? Kids don't even know what they're having. For them, this is psychological. So they think it's like a chip. It's a crunch factor they're looking for. So, you know, just explore what's the reason they want a chip, right? Because it's usually the crunch. And there's something substitute that we can show you that's healthy and nutritious for them.
Brilliant, Taz. Brilliant, Million.
Here's another thought. Minerals. It's minerals. They're craving salt because they need minerals. And if you take the ionic elements and throw that into whatever juice, you can hide it. You can really hide it easily in the tart cherry. It's why the family nutrition pack has the tart cherry and the aloe digest and the minerals, because that acts like the biomedic, but you can hide it in the tart cherry. It makes it like an apple cherry drink, and they love it. And minerals alkalize, and they fill in that need that they may be craving for whatever reason that they're craving the salt. So that's a way that you can alkalize really easily and hide it in something that he will actually drink.
Hey, right on, Jody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much, Carmela, and your beautiful children. This was really rich, and a lot of food for thought at the end. I love hearing your voices. We want to be doing that way more with Fierce Friday. All right, looking forward to next week. We are business forward next week. So here's what we're doing next week. We're going to be doing a wealthy happy hour. All right, we are leading with the business. We are talking all about how we've been able to run through the ranks and create very successful Purium businesses. So come for that. Come to hear a completely well-focused, business-focused presentation from the council, all right? And we can't wait to be with you next week. Fierce Friday, be there, bring 2 people. You know how this goes, all right? So much love to you all. Go out and make posts if you've been inspired today. If you've learned anything today, go out and share it, all right? Let's move the movement forward by speaking about what we know. Thank you so much. Mwah. Bye-bye, everyone.